Surprise, surprise, the government has wound back its tax reforms, increasing the threshold of its small business carve-outs and limiting the Treasurer's ministerial discretion powers. Joining us to discuss today's headlines is Independent MP Dai Le in the studio with me. Good to see you. And ALP President Wayne Swan in Brizzy. Good morning to you, Wayne. So you've changed your position again.
Well, it's not surprising. The government said it would listen, the government said it would consult, and the government's done exactly that. And they've got a reform package, which is great. It's, you know, the young people have been locked out of the housing market. There's a big change there. Much more equity in the tax system. We don't want to go down the American road where the rich get richer and the middle gets squeezed and everybody else gets left behind.
Wayne,
so this is a very important reform in that context.
Wayne,
it absolutely is.
It's another backflip. I mean, you Labor lot could be gold medal gymnasts.
I've been down the road of tax reform before, and I can tell you that this is not unusual. You put your proposals out there, there's vigorous debate, you go out and consult. The government said it was going to do that. It's consulted. Now it's got a package, and as you heard before, it'll go through the parliament.
Maybe you should have done it before, Dai.
This was supposed to be the most ambitious budget, and you know, this is going to resolve the housing crisis for the young people in Australia, according to the government, and they're governing by backflipping, and you know, and now consulting. Look, you can't govern by backflipping.
You can't have it both ways.
All
you can't call for reform, and when it comes, call it a backflip.
You can consult before for such a major and ambitious budget as the
It is an
Prime
ambitious
Minister.
budget.
Yes, but you can't do something so big and major without consultation. And now you're backflipping, which is good. It's good.
The government said they were going to consult, and they have.
Well,
All right.
why consult after anyway?
Well, what's interesting
Okay.
as well, though, I think, Wayne, is that the Treasurer now, of course, Jim Chalmers, is saying that he's walking back his ministerial discretion, despite telling, I mean, our program only a couple of weeks ago that there was nothing unusual about those powers. So if that was true, why wind them back?
Because he's been out there consulting. When he said
So
he was
they
going to
were
consult,
overreach,
he meant it.
those powers.
There will always be changes to major pieces of tax legislation. This is not
hard to keep
unusual.
up, Dai.
We
I
can
know,
pretend
all these
it's different.
changes.
It's not. This is the way the system works.
But can I say there's actually an issue here that the media hasn't actually caught up on, which is how many of the Labor MPs have actually sold their assets before this policy have come through? Because I know that in my community that has happened. People have, you know, community have bought on a business from a member of a family of a member of parliament, pushing this through before this whole changes took place, and this family is now sitting there with this huge business, and they didn't actually get the books, and looking, oh my God, how? And then of course it changes CH.
You're saying they're a rorts, Dai?
Oh, well, I'm going to say how many MPs have actually been aware of these changes and have gone off and sold their assets and benefiting from the previous legislation.
Well,
and now
everybody heard about them at the same time.
No.
Well, look, I mean,
we won't discuss that there.
I mean, it's an interesting point that Dai makes, but look, regardless, I mean, these changes probably going to pass
And
Parliament.
a bit of a slur on MPs as well. But anyway.
Well,
Tell
she
me.
has. It's a general claim.
But
we're seeing these changes go through, right? I mean, one person who is obviously unlikely to back them is Pauline Hanson. I mean, she's riding a publicity high after her maiden speech at the National Press Club. Wayne, it was low on policy, high on rhetoric. Labor has 2 years to counter that groundswell. What is your game plan? Because voters are turning...
Well, I think it was actually high on policy. She told us she was going to crack down on workers.
Well, there wasn't much concrete
too much, and they're going to make
detail.
Well, she said she was going to make it easier to sack workers. You know, and she doesn't support the award system. That's big policy, and it's big target, because she has disdain for working people in this country, and a whole agenda to rip away their safety net, particularly in areas like health and education. I think it was a very big package which would radically change Australia and take us down the American road of the rich getting richer and the country being run by billionaires, frankly, if you saw what happened yesterday with Gina Rinehart. Big bags of cash coming to one nation from billionaires.
Are we going down that route again? I mean, Swanee, we spoke to you about this
It's a
last
very
week with the
serious
billionaires who
public
also
policy
back the
question.
Labor Party. I mean, you want to
Yes,
talk about
exactly. We won't go there.
billionaires. Look, you know, there's some navel-gazing happening there. But I just think you do need to have a game plan. Dai, we've seen... Pauline took out, I suppose it was... interesting, that speech, right? There were a number of things that she attacked, including multiculturalism.
Yeah, look, can I say, I think her sentence was that we are a multiracial society, but we should be monoculture. Now, I don't know what monoculture she's referring to. Is it the, you know, Anglo-Australian culture, or whatever, I don't know. But I think what the rise in Pauline Hanson really actually points to the lack of government policy and governing for everybody. And people are frustrated out there. And I know in my very multicultural community in Fowler, families and businesses who are of migrants background actually have said, you know what, I'm going to vote for One Nation. And these are Labor voters. So these are concerning because it's about the Labor Party, the government have not really governed for small business and for families who are working really hard with high energy, high rent. Now with the CGT, that's going to push rent up, and we've got a very big rental stress in our community in Fowler and Western Sydney.
Oh, well, at least really the young people in Fowler, Di, got a very good deal out of the changes in capital gains tax.
Wayne, they did not.
Intergenerational equity for all the young people in Fowler and right across Australia.
Have you spoken to the young people in my electorate of Fowler?
You two always get fired up at the end of the meeting.
I'm happy to come down and do it. Di,
please come out, Wayne. Absolutely.
Okay, we'll do.
Yeah.
There you go. You can give him one of those delicious banh mi's that you gave us that time. It was great. Thank you both.